You've definitely seen at least one of his highlights this season, and you may know the NBA lineage he descends from. Gary Payton II has played his way onto the floor and into the hearts of Dub Nation with performances that demand respect. On that note, let's find out more about Gary Payton II. Facts you won't believe. Number 6. Early life. Gary Payton II was born in Seattle, Washington on December 1st, 1992, as the son of Hall of Fame point guard Gary Payton, aka The Glove. His father was a member of the Supersonics at the time. He split his high school years between Spring Valley High in Las Vegas and Westwind Prep in Phoenix. He spent 2 years at Salt Lake Community College before finishing out his college years at Oregon State. He stands at 191 centimeters or 6 feet 3 inches and weighs 195 pounds. Payton II played 2 seasons at Salt Lake Community College, helping the squad win the Region 18 championship and outright SWAC title in 2013 as a freshman. As a sophomore, Payton averaged 14.1 points, 7.9 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 1.9 steals per game, earning him second team NJCAA Division I All-American, and was voted 2014 Region 18 Co-Player of the Year and Region 18 Tournament Most Valuable Player. After his sophomore season, however, he transferred to his father's alma mater, Oregon State. As a Beaver, Payton made the record books as the second Oregon State player to record a triple-double in a game, as he dropped 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists on Grambling State. The only other Beaver to record a triple-double in a game? Gary Payton Sr. Just like his famous father, Payton earned a reputation as a tenacious defender. In 2015, Pac-12 coaches voted Payton to the All-Pac-12 First Team, All-Pac-12 Defensive Team, and named him the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Number 5. Like mother, like son. For Gary Payton II, it's NBA superstar father like NBA son when it comes to playing basketball. But in terms of the Golden State Warriors guard's unique athleticism, quickness, and highlight reel dunks, it's actually like mother, like son. It's got to be Monique, Payton II said in an interview, so if it's not Monique, I'd be surprised if it's Gary. I doubt it though. In Monique's background, she was running track, doing high jump, long jump, it just makes sense. And she always used to tell me she was the most athletic in her class, so I'm going to take her word for it. It's truly Monique. Gary Payton Sr. is unquestionably one of the NBA's greatest defenders. He was a 9-time NBA All-Star. The Lincoln University California men's basketball coach was recently also named one of the top 75 NBA players of all time. Monique Payton was a basketball star in her own right as one of the greatest guards in the history of Merritt College in California. Together, Gary and Monique had 3 children, including Gary Payton II. The journeyman guard has suited up for the Milwaukee Bucks, Los Angeles Lakers, Washington Wizards, and now the Warriors. So far with the Warriors, the 6'3", 190-pounder has found a home with his renowned defensive pressure. It certainly is reminiscent of his father, who was known as the Glove. Number 4. Professional career. Payton went undrafted in 2016, and his journey to the NBA hit a bump in the road. Later, he joined the Rockets Summer League team and appeared in 6 games before being waived. Soon after, he signed with the Rockets' G League affiliate, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. Not long into his stint in the G League, he dropped 51 points on the Los Angeles Defenders, showing the first signs of his explosiveness. In April of 2017, he signed with the Milwaukee Bucks, another of his father's former teams, and made his first appearance. He was waived by the Bucks at the end of the preseason 2017-2018, but was given a 2-way contract by the club a few days later to appear with the Wisconsin Herd in the G League. However, in December of that year, he was once again waived by the Bucks. Payton II would bounce between the NBA and G League for a few years, having stints with the Los Angeles Lakers, another 2 stints with Rio Grande, 2 with the Washington Wizards, the South Bay Lakers, and the 905 Raptors. In April of 2021, he signed a 10-day contract with the Golden State Warriors, then another 1-day when the first one was up. The Warriors then signed him for the rest of the season, and the following before waiving and re-signing him yet again in October. So far this season, Payton has appeared in 11 games and is averaging 6 points, 2.3 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. After stints with 5 G League teams and 4 NBA teams over a 5-year span, Payton appears to have finally found a steady home with the Golden State Warriors. Number 3. Late bloomer. Payton is proud of the fact that he broke out so close to turning 30, There's not an exact age when executives stop seeing you as a prospect, but it happens. They definitely look for younger guys to breed and make them their future, he said. But if you think about it, I didn't really start playing basketball until my senior year of high school, so I don't really have that much wear and tear on me. I'm pretty athletic still, I can still move pretty quick, he added. Looking back, Payton thinks his late start has something to do with why, after so much rejection, he is still here. I realized young I was a late bloomer, he said. Gains are going to come. When his younger brother Julian started going to the gym with Daryl Jordan, Payton was still staying home to play video games. To Jordan, who trained Payton and coached him with hard two-guard AAU team, the term late bloomer is insufficient. It was more of a confidence thing, he said. Payton had big, strong hands and a long wingspan. Attributes like that, along with a competitive streak, honed at family game nights, think of 50 push-ups if you lose a round of Golden Tee. He used to use great effect on defense. He had a nose for the ball and a knack for being in the right place. What he didn't have was an identity. Number 2, cruel taunts. I think Gary fell in love with basketball when he realized, I just have to be Gary. I don't have to be the glove, said Daryl Jordan. He was the Draymond Jr. of Key Arena, but cruel taunts and comparisons to his father followed him from school gyms and playgrounds in Seattle to Milwaukee, Los Angeles, Boston, and Las Vegas. As a high school freshman, he asked Gary Payton Sr. to stop coming to his games. Jordan said Payton's fear early on was disappointing his dad by not scoring 40 points. In his senior year at Spring Valley High School, Payton started at small forward and a lineup composed entirely of players 6'2" and shorter. He was everything for us, Coach Philip McAllister said. We let him freelance, and some nights we had him in the 5 spot on the board. They ran a 4-out offense, played opposing bigs off the floor, and attacked the paint. He defended Bishop Gorman, Phenom Shabazz Muhammad, and held his own. Payton was not a bucket getter, but he was a chameleon, McAllister said. Every night he could be something else for you. He could give you 10 assists, or one night he could give you 15 rebounds, or one night he could give you a triple-double. He'd also grown to 6'2", and he had springs. The game becomes more enjoyable when you can dunk on dudes' heads. Number 1, guaranteed to stay. Earlier this month, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr stated the obvious. Guard Gary Payton II will be with the team the rest of the season. I'm going to make that decision right now, Kerr said before Golden State's game against the Pelicans at Smoothie King Center. We're guaranteeing him the rest of the year. This declaration came 4 days before Payton's $1.9 million contract for 2021-2022 becomes fully guaranteed. If the Warriors hadn't planned to keep him around, they would have needed to cut him so he could clear the 48-hour waiver period. There was no chance of that happening, however, given how instrumental Payton has been to the Warriors' success. His defensive rating of 97.9 ranks second behind Andre Iguodala among the Warriors' regular rotation players. Given that he has long been a high-level defender, he just needed to prove he could knock down shots consistently to stick in the league. Now, after a nomadic 5 years filled with G League stops and non-guaranteed contracts, Payton has a chance to carve out a lasting niche with the Warriors. His energy, athleticism, and instincts make him a fine, low-cost complement for the likes of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and eventually Klay Thompson. In fact, Payton has been so reliable that Kerr believes he can remain key into the playoffs. So, what do you think? What do you make of these amazing facts about Payton Jr.? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as we enjoyed bringing it for you. See you next time. Goodbye.